Hi, welcome back to Movie Review Mom. Today, the movie I'm reviewing is Luce. This movie is rated R. It is 109 minutes, and the grade that I gave it is an A, and I'll tell you why. First, in a quick nutshell, this is a psychological thriller, and it's a movie that begs you to talk about it afterward. That's partly the reason why I gave it an A. It's really well done. The cast is brilliant and the story is very provocative. It skillfully addresses some fascinating themes and questions about society and our identities. I can often tell what's going to happen in a movie, but in this drama, it kept me guessing the entire time, which I really appreciate and enjoy. It challenges you to think and look at what's happening from several different perspectives. Julius Ona directed the movie that is based on the play by J.C. Lee. He also wrote the screenplay. Some quick tips for parents, and that is that there is some profanity, including many F-bombs. There's talk of racism, sexism, privilege, tokenism, and assimilation. There is some very crude language and sexual references, but beyond the references, there's some just full-on nudity. One of the high school girls talks about a terrible game that was played at a party involving that. And I sure hope that that game doesn't really exist, but I fear that it does, which makes me really sad. You see a topless woman in a short shower scene, and then you see a completely naked woman in a pretty long scene running around. Two times you see and hear kind of blurred sex scenes. They're short, but they're definitely there. So this is not a movie for children. There's talk of an assault, there's vandalism, some crime going on, and it's an interesting movie for older teenagers if you can maybe filter out some of the other stuff that you don't want them to see. But the topics are really intriguing. Some other themes are that we should speak our mind no matter the cost, which is something that Luce says. Played by Kelvin Harrison Jr., by the way, who is fantastic. I'm sure he's going to get some kind of an Oscar nomination because he was that good. Other themes are violation of privacy, limits, family and the importance of family, accusations, truth versus rumor versus what we think we know, being put in a box by society and by other people, identity, as I mentioned, trust, and parenting choices, and at what lengths are you going to protect your children versus have them actually be accountable for the consequences of their actions. All really interesting topics worth talking about after you watch the movie. So some things that I really liked was I mentioned that the cast is fantastic and includes Octavia Spencer, Academy Award winner, and Academy Award nominee Naomi Watts, who always gives a solid performance. Also included are Tim Roth, Marsha Stephanie Blake, Deshaun Meeks, and Andrea Bang. I imagine we're going to see some Oscar nominations arriving in a few months that congratulate almost all of those performances. It's very, very well done with the cast. Great casting, too. Fans of Lie to Me will enjoy seeing Tim Roth, and I really like that first season of the show, and then it just kind of started going south. Luce, by the way, means light. In Italian, it's luce, and in Spanish, it's luz, but spelled L-U-Z. Either way, Luce, the character, had said that his adoptive American mother named him that because he had some light in him, even though he had a dark past, because he was born in war-torn Eritrea and was sort of rescued and then adopted by this American family. And I love double entendres. I love symbolism, and there is light in his name and in his person, his persona, and the contrast between the light and the dark is so well done in the movie. I think you're really going to enjoy that. Some things that I didn't like is I hated that pounding drum sound effect that went on and on in several scenes. I get it. It's drama, but it was so annoying. This is a very serious drama with really no humor at all. And then my complaint always with rated R movies is we don't have to see all the flesh. We don't have to see the acts of certain relationships to know what's going on. I much more appreciate a director who is subtle and alludes to certain things where you know what's going on, but you don't have to see it all. Come on. And it definitely takes some time to kind of unwind the story, not only to play out what's happening, but for you as an audience member to unwind what you're seeing, which I thought was also very cleverly done. Some people might be confused and wonder what the heck happened, which is a valid point. There are some really interesting lines. And one that I'll mention is Kelvin Harrison Jr., who plays Luce, says, "What's the difference between punishing someone for being a stereotype when rewarding them, or rewarding them when they're not?" And that's sort of the gist of the movie, is stereotypes and putting people in boxes, and identity in terms of who are you really versus who do you portray, the facade that everyone thinks you are. And in the case of a teenager, trying to figure out which one is which. Very, very well done. I think we're going to hear a lot of talk about this one in the future. It's kind of not getting a lot of marketing, so I think a lot of people are going to miss this one. But for the mature viewer and maybe the sophisticated viewer, I think this is definitely one worth considering. Anyway, that is my review. Thank you for subscribing. By the way, check out our Movie Review Mom Facebook page, where you can hang out with other movie fans and talk about the movies you love and the movies you hate. Bye for now.